Good morning, 9:32. And we're only about 40 minutes away from your next chance to win some free money on the 9K a day inflation vacation. Another $1,000 keyword coming up at 10 minutes past next hour. Stand by. At this particular point on Wednesdays, though, we proudly present Ask the Lawyer with Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. You see, for years now, 10 years now, as a matter of fact, been answering your questions. And if you'd like to submit a question about the law, we're happy to have you do the same thing. I'll tell you all about submissions in just a moment. But first, let's welcome the man of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
Excellent. It's a nice looking start to the day, too, isn't it?
It is. It looks beautiful outside.
How are you doing? How are you feeling these days?
I'm feeling 5 by 5.
It's always a positive note from Bruce L. Scheiner, which is great. A ray of sunshine. And also a fountain of knowledge when it comes to the law. You've just celebrated your 50th anniversary. And therefore, we turn to you for expert advice on all kinds of different things. Got another very complicated question to ask you today. Are you settled in and ready?
I am ready, Todd.
Okay, here's what our email says today, Bruce. It says, Todd, this is a little complicated, and we need some help. Well, they came to the right place. My brother rode his motorcycle on a section of I-75 South with 3 lanes. My brother was in the passing lane closest to the median when a car driving in the middle lane swerved in front of him, causing him to go off into the median. As a result of entering the median, my brother was thrown over 20 feet from his motorcycle. He was hospitalized with severe injuries, including a broken hip. It turns out the car that swerved in front of him had been struck by a commercial truck, which caused his vehicle to swerve into my brother's lane. The car driver never struck my brother, and his insurance says they are not responsible. Is that true? Can you ask the lawyer what my brother should do? This is another complex situation, but you are always so good at distilling it down to something we can all understand. So what do you make of this, Bruce?
Well, it's really not as complicated as it appears.
Oh, good.
The truck, assuming it's negligently struck the car that cut off the motorcycle, would be responsible for the motorcyclist's damage.
Okay.
Now, even though the car didn't strike the motorcycle, it set in a chain of events that caused the motorcycle to go off the road and it caused the injury.
Correct.
The only other thing is we don't know exactly what happened. The car may share some responsibility or liability depending on what actions it was taking. But it looks pretty clear to me that the truck is, the culprit and set the chain of events causing the car to cut off the motorcyclist.
Okay.
And the good news is that trucks are, required to carry high limits of liability insurance. So these persons' damages, pain and suffering, medical bills, loss of wages, they should all be taken care of.
It seems to me like, at a minimum, you're going to be dealing with 3 different insurance companies, motorcyclists, drivers, trucks, and even if it is the truck's responsibility, you're going to be going back and forth with a lot of different insurance representatives. That's nothing that as a layperson, I would want to do.
No, it's going to be complicated. And, the first thing is they should contact an experienced personal injury lawyer.
Okay. That's good to know. And like you said, being a commercial truck, like you said, trucks carry additional insurance, but also being a commercial truck, I'm thinking as part of a company, there's probably quite a bit of coverage available. So it's somewhat comforting to note that whatever the medical bills are, the pain and suffering and so forth, there's probably going to be enough to cover that.
Absolutely. And, it's important to note that this is a motorcycle accident, and
yes.
Our firm is known as the motorcyclist lawyers, so we'd be happy to help them in any situation where
Right.
someone's involved in a motorcycle accident.
And I've been hearing that for years. The biker's lawyer, and everybody knows that in the area, of course, that you're the biker's lawyer. You have a special bit of compassion in your soul, I think, when it comes to the motorcyclists, don't you?
Well, I love motorcyclists because they have such a free spirit, and I really admire them.
So definitely contact a professional. Do it sooner rather than later, and make sure that they have experience dealing with motorcycle crashes in particular.
Absolutely. Good advice.
Okay, Bruce. Thanks again for your time. We always appreciate you weighing in on these very complicated, seemingly complicated issues. I hope you have a good week. Look forward to talking to you next Wednesday.
Me too, Todd. Thank you.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now, if you would like to submit a question, you got something similar you want to ask, that's just fine. You can go to the website and type the keyword Bruce into the search box to enter your question in for possible consideration as early as next Wednesday. On the other hand, if you've been injured, you might want some more immediate help, and that would be fine. All you have to do is call the Port Charlotte office of Associates and Bruce L. Scheiner at 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. And tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.